Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann coming to you from Woodstock, Georgia, where I own CrossFit Garage. Since 2008, I've been trying to be healthy and fit, and I have done some crazy stuff. Some things I'm going to tell you, don't ever do. But there's other things that I'm finding that are really good. So this guy working right beside me, Evan. Hello, Evan. Say hi over there.
Hi.
There you go. He got on a crazy journey with some gut thing that they said, hey, it looks like, or presents itself like Crohn's. And he was like, I'm going to try the lion diet because I've heard meat will heal you. And I looked him straight in the eyes and I said, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think you can eat meat and live. I think you have to have other stuff. Turns out I'm wrong. We basically just eat meat, and I'll get into that later. I wouldn't recommend you guys doing that. What I am going to tell you is how to not be an idiot when it comes to your food. Listen, your tongue is an asshole. Your tongue wants you to eat stuff. Until you can break the habit of listening to your tongue, most of this is pretty tough. And I know some of you guys out there says, I have tried everything. That's impossible. There are so many things. You have definitely not tried everything. You've probably tried the categories, a lot of categories, but not all of them. There are so many things you can do. From simple calorie restriction, which I think is the dumbest thing ever, to fasting, to window eating, to, like Josiah's, stop eating stupid crap after 2 p.m., then it doesn't affect you as much. I'm like, it looks like it. If you look at him, he's like, that really works. I think your thing you're really going to find is not every nutrition plan or idea works for everybody. You're going to have to actually pick and find the one that you like and works. And they may not be the same. You may like the steak diet, but it doesn't work for you. So there are a number of people that only eat meat. You can go on the internet and you can find them. One is a story. Two is maybe some anecdotes. More than two starts to become some sort of plot or trend. I don't know. But there are people on the webs that just eat meat and they're doing great. There are people on the webs that just eat vegetables and they're doing fine. I think you're going to find that it really depends on who you are and where you're at. So I'm going to give you the easy stuff. The easy things are going to be things like every single person is going to agree, stop eating sugar. Every single person is going to agree, don't drink your calories. Everybody's going to agree, moderation, right? So there's some things in there that are just like, duh. Sometimes what you really need is the accountability. So hear me out. You can do this on your own and it's free. Just do it. If you're upset, have you ever tried to not be upset? If you're hungry, have you ever tried just not to eat? I know that sounds like a dick thing to say, but it literally is that easy. Just go against your tongue's desires and don't do it. But it's really tough. So how about this? It's not complicated. But it's it's not, what are the right words? It's hard for sure, but it's not complicated. Just don't do what your tongue's asking you to do. Just don't do what maybe the parasites in your stomach are asking you to do. Delay that gratification. Don't eat the chocolate, right? Okay. So what would I tell you? Most of the stuff you see on the internet is just hype. It's attention getting. Like, okay, today, I like to think about things and figure out why I do the things I do. Self-introspection, I guess, or I don't know. I just like to figure those things out. So today we were supposed to run a mile, rest that amount of time, and then run another mile. And someone said, are you going to do the path through the neighborhood or are you going to do loops? And I said, the path. I don't really like doing the loops. And so on my jog, I'm thinking, why don't I like doing the loops? What's wrong with the loops? There's nothing wrong. It's the same distance. Why don't I like it? You can time yourself better. You can bail out if it starts raining. If you have to go to the bathroom, you can just go inside. So there's so many reasons why the loop may be better. So I'm pondering this on my jog, which I'm happy to say my first one was 7 minutes and 23 seconds. Dude, that's sick for a 52-year-old guy who doesn't really ever jog. So anyway, I'm going and what it turns out in my head is what I don't like is the back of the area in the loops is slanted for the rain, so the water will run off and get to the drains. And I don't like running on the slant. When we adventure race, I really don't like running on the slant. I will make efforts to get on a trail or something better than running on the slant. So I'm like, that's interesting. It's the slants. It's not the boredom of the loops. I just don't like the slants. Anyway, my point in saying that is sometimes you need to figure out why you're doing the things you're doing. Sometimes it's just hype and they're trying to get your attention. Sometimes you need to look inside yourself and say, why am I clicking on that thumbnail? Am I clicking on it because the guy's doing that stupid face where they put their hands on there like, oh no, I purposely don't click on thumbnails that are meant to draw me in. I'm like, I don't want clickbait. I don't want that. I don't want to jump into that. I listened to this guy named Matt Colville on YouTube. He just did a great video on what it means to him to do videos on YouTube. And he said, it's a hobby for me. It's not my job. So he says, yes, I could turn on ads and I'd make $170 on ads for this video. Wow. Who cares? I have a job. And I love that. He tells it, right? And he's like, I don't want you to let me be your thought partner. That's gross. I want you to hear my opinions and then do it your way. And I'm going to tell you, there is no wrong way, or I take it back. There are some completely wrong ways. The sugar diet would be the wrong thing to do. There are a number of right ways to get this done. Which one are you going to pick? Man, that's up to you. I love the fact that you're an adult. And like one of the ultimate powers, at least in America, as an adult is your right to say, no, screw off. I'm going to go do something else, right? You can literally get in your car, drive to Alaska, and nobody cares. They're like, yeah, I guess you can do that. You can drive all the way across the country. The money's the same. The people are the same-ish. And you can do it. Same thing for this. You can choose easy or you can choose hard. Being obese is tough. Being skinny is tough in a different way. Which tough do you want? Being married is tough. Being divorced is tough. Being a parent is tough. Being, I didn't have kids in your head is tough. Everything has its tough factors as well as its good factors. So we had a conversation at the dinner table and Levi said, I just don't think I could ever eat the way you eat. Why do you do it? I was like, well, weirdly, I just did it mostly because it's a lonely journey. Evan was on it. I thought, I'll support him. I'll go with him because then, a data point of 1 isn't great. At least with 2, you can make a line. You can kind of figure some things out, which really helped because when you're eating this much fat and protein, your poop is weird. And so we were able to talk about that and be like, yeah, let's fix it. I think it's all in the fat, or let's up our electrolytes. But the point is, Levi said, why do you do it? And I like the way I feel and look eating this way. And I actually enjoy it. So I have found the thing that I like and works in my body. I eat something like 4,000 calories a day of just protein and fat. I barely ever eat any vegetables, carbs. I never eat grains. I don't eat sugars. So I just don't have that stuff. Is it the right thing to do? Man, I'm going to say no, because it is very, very tough to do. And I would not suggest that for any of you. But what I would say is, if you can find it, that's great. And if you can't, hire somebody to help. We have so many people in the gym that can help. You can hire me. I'm $1,000 an hour. And the reason why is I've just done this for so many years. I'd rather help the people in the coaches with the business and work with them than work with individuals that, I guess, man, when you design a plan and they're like, never mind, I'm not going to do it. You're like, man, I feel like I just wasted my time. Yes, you paid me. Thank you for paying me. But I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for life change. And so it's different. I just don't really care for the money. I want you to change your life. Anyway, okay. So most of the stuff you see on the internet is just noise. Most of it doesn't matter. It's just hype. They're just trying to get you there, just trying to get clicks. As Matt Colville said, let me go down with that story. He does YouTube because he likes it. He puts out a video once a month. People are like, why don't you do more? He's like, why? I don't have anything to say. When I have something to say, I'll say it. The other guys in this industry, he does D&D content. They put out stuff all the time because that's how they make their money. And some of their stuff is garbage. You're like, why are you guys all talking about the same stupid thing? And I don't enjoy watching your stuff. So I only put out stuff. It's like this podcast. I only do it once a week because I'm only going to talk about things when I have something to talk about. If I weirdly ever run out of things to say, I just won't put out an episode. But there's always stuff on my list. The list is enormous, and I'm never going to finish it because there's so many things with fitness, food, and finance. I mean, that's everything. That's everything we do. The 5 pillars of all of this stuff is how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. And I can make those 5 pillars rope into those 3 things. I mean, pretty much every time. So you'll hear me bloviate a lot. Damn it, I did it again. It's 9 minutes in. I haven't given you anything. Okay, let me just jump right into this thing. So I think probably the biggest thing is when you start earning some money, you should upgrade the food that you eat. Yes, it's true. When you're in college, Taco Bell is the place to go. It's not food, it's entertainment. You'll probably die if you eat that stuff all the time. There's that guy who went to Subway and he lost a bunch of weight. It could be because Subway's stuff maybe, I shouldn't say this because I'm going to change my story. Tommy owns a Subway. Subways are awesome. Go to Subway. Actually, out of all the things, I mean, I literally have like, it's lunch meat and vegetables. So I don't know how they can mess that up. But some places don't even have, like Chick-fil-A. They're like, yeah, they're not even really putting chicken in there anymore. I'm like, what? That's God's business. And God's not putting chicken in Chick-fil-A? Anyway, you just got to watch out. So as you level up your life, you get more money, upgrade the food that you eat. How much? Man, I don't know. I went so far down the rabbit hole trying to make the perfect egg because I eat so many eggs. I have chickens in my backyard. So my biggest problem is coyotes and hawks. And you're like, Andy, I mean, aren't you living in the year 2026? Chickens and hawks for like humans in America, that's not really like a problem. I love watching hawks. I love seeing nature. Yeah, they eat my chickens like it's a buffet. It's just, it's nuts. It sucks. So how far should you go down the rabbit hole? I don't know. But if you have cash, you could upgrade the food. I would upgrade the meats, eggs, fruits, vegetables. I would probably start skipping out on things like potatoes and rice. Potatoes and rice are filler foods. Oh no, there's a famine. Let them eat potatoes and rice. So when you eat, what you're trying to get out of it is nutrients. There's the macronutrients, carbs, proteins, and fats. And then you've got micronutrients. That's all the other stuff, the minerals, the riboflavin, whatever all that stuff is, right? Everything else are like, golly, this is hard to categorize. It's all of that, the micronutrients. So you want something that's super nutrient dense. And you know what's not nutrient dense? Rice, potatoes, most of the breads that come out that are out there on the shelves. If you make your own bread, that's totally different. Nuts and beans, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of either one of those. I do like cashews, but So, and I would stay away from snack foods. There is literally nothing good about candy or sugar drinks or super sweet pastries or something that is ultra processed like a Pop-Tart. Man, I love Pop-Tarts. I used to eat Pop-Tarts all the time. I try to figure out the appropriate amount of toasting to get it brown yet gooey on the inside without burning it. And I mean, I had it down to almost a science. It was beautiful. You would have said, Andy, what are you doing eating Pop-Tarts? It's true. Actually, one of my cousins, Cisco, just commented on a Facebook post I did about nutrition. And he's like, come on, man, you loved it back in the 80s when we lived next to Krispy Kreme. And it's true. When we ate, I would eat a dozen glazed Krispy Kreme donuts by myself with some hot chocolate. I'm like, how? And I did it. And I was a chunky little sixth grader. So snack foods and all that stuff. I would say just get rid of them in your life, but I know that's not going to be possible. A good rule of thumb is to eat something that only has one ingredient. So do you know what goes into a beef New York strip? A cow. The ingredient is cow. That's it. A banana. The ingredient is banana. So if you had, I don't know, like a banana cow pie, that sounds gross. It's minimal ingredients. It's a cow, it's a banana. They are what they are. It's when you start putting things in there that you're like, I don't even know what it is. Well, it's a stabilizer. Well, that's industrial lubricant. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say probably don't ingest industrial lubricant. So look for upgraded food. Hey, is it organic? Is it farm raised, pasture raised, stuff like that? Is it, rather than we're making strawberries as bright and beautiful as we can. They have no nutrients in them whatsoever. And you can eat that. We spray these so no weeds come up. We have a high yield. They're super cheap. And, I don't know. All that stuff isn't going to be good for you. Another fun fact, most of you guys don't know this, is the calorie that they created, like these are the calories and the nutrients in this, let's say, strawberry. It was all done in like the 1930s. And they still use that data, even though they started breeding strawberries for looks and taste, not nutrients. So if they actually redid all of those stuff, I think you would find that a strawberry is not really, lining up to what a strawberry is supposed to be. Okay, what's the next one? It is that protein is king. Ask Evan, ask myself. Does protein satiate? Yes, if you have the appropriate amount of fat in it. So you got to eat the protein and the fat, and it will satiate you. Protein, it's the most nutrient dense. It's going to help you build muscles, repair tissues, especially like if we're doing this CrossFit stuff, and help from recovery. If you're eating enough protein and you ever got to the place where your body's trying to dissolve some of your own protein for materials, that's going to help stop that. Now, we live in America. I don't think that's really ever going to happen. You can go nearly anywhere 5 minutes away and just get some sort of food or something, entertainment you can put in your pie hole. But the biggest thing I would change for everybody out there is start your meals with protein. Eat that first. Your body's digestive system actually works in a weird, mysterious way. It is not a cauldron of hydrochloric acid. I mean, it is, but it's not a cauldron of hydrochloric acid and you just dump everything in and everything comes out correctly. It is possible to eat things that mess up digestion. So like you can eat a plant that is anti-digestion, like it doesn't want to be eaten. Therefore, then when you eat the meats that you want, it doesn't really digest them that well. So eat your proteins first and then eat the other stuff afterwards. It'd probably be better for you. So you can just change the order in which you eat. Wow, that's interesting. Have you ever tried that? I know, I tried everything, Andy. I've tried everything. Have you tried eating your protein first and then waiting a moment and then eating the other stuff? Or weird, don't eat the other stuff, right? So what I eat in a day is essentially 5 eggs for breakfast, 2 different steaks. So usually it's about 1.5 pounds of wet steak. So when I cook it, obviously it's less. I like New York strips, but I'll pretty much eat anything. Although I have found that it's got to have the appropriate amount of fat in it for me to feel correct. I just can't eat straight protein. It can't be like the leanest cut. I need fat in there. And then for dinner, it's something like a pound of ground beef with, and then there's other stuff. I'll put some goat cheese in there. I might put some eggs in there. I may throw an avocado in there. I know I said I didn't eat vegetables. Every once in a while, a sweet potato or a avocado. I can't call like 2 a month as like eating vegetables. That's like, it doesn't make any sense. That's not really eating vegetables. That's, I don't even know why sometimes I do it. Sometimes I don't. Okay, so add protein. One of the biggest things I can tell you is stop drinking your calories. You can't even eat as much sugar on a spoon as is in a can of Coke that you drink. You're just like, I'm disgusted by this. I can't do it. I know. So get rid of soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, fancy coffee, just like what I'm drinking right here, black coffee, just go black. And fruit juices, which you could drink. That's totally cool and good, which is not fun or entertaining, is water. Put some electrolytes in there. I use electrolytes, but I make my own, and it's just salt, potassium, and the other thing, magnesium. I do black coffee. I don't put anything in it. I do drink unsweet tea sometimes. Usually it's hot tea. I just make, like a black tea. Now, sparkling water could work. I don't do that. I've never really liked fizzy drinks. I know, super weird, but that's fine. The liquid calories, they don't really fill you up, but they count against you so much. You need to learn what your calorie count is and how much to eat. So many people, Kate had a story about how she was trying to eat 1,000 calories a day. I'm like, yeah, that's going to kill you. She's like, yeah, I think that was going to kill me. I'm like, yeah, that's what it's going to do. So your body, I think it's typically said that a woman's about 2,000 calories a day and men are about 2,400 calories a day. It's not exact science. They're just saying in general, all men and women are different, but that's kind of the idea. Typically men are bigger and they have more muscle, and that's why. Different processes in the body. But if you're not eating enough food, your body starts to prioritize and minimize things that are going on. So it may say, you know what, I'm not very sick. Let's suppress our immune system. You know what, we don't really need black hair. Let's just let the color go and let it go gray. Let's, have our fingernails and toenails not grow correctly, right? So it'll turn things off when it doesn't have enough food. Yeah, you can do it, but your body is going to respond in a negative way to the absence of calories. Instead, what you want to do is figure out what is my metabolic rate, and I'm going to eat to that. So if you could, I would weigh and measure everything you eat for about a month and track your weight and see what's happening. Then you would know exactly what's going on in your body. Yeah, eating 10 oranges is bad for you. That's not enough food. That's like the wrong food. You need to eat enough nutrient-dense food, which I know many of you are going to hate this. You need to eat meats. You need to eat proteins. You need to eat something that had a face or would have a face if you let it grow up, like an egg. It's going to really help. So if you eat enough, your energy will go up, your recovery goes up, your sleep is better, and weirdly, if you're eating the right stuff like proteins and fats, your cravings will go away a bit. But they literally have, actually, I'm going to go look for this and see what it's called, like a food scientist. Okay. I found it on Indeed. There is something called a food scientist. I kind of made up the word. I've heard it before. This company is, well, there's no company name. So it just said food scientist. Oh, there it is. OFI. I don't know what that stands for. Their job description, food scientist. It's in Chicago or New Jersey. Let's see, Illinois. Let's see. Department is innovation. So food scientists are innovating their food. Safety sensitive? No. Okay. So we are a global leader in food and beverage ingredients. What the hell? That's what I'm talking about, right? I could just stop right there. We're just into the ingredients. We operate at the forefront of consumer trends to provide food and beverage manufacturers and retailers with products and ingredients that will delight their customers. Wait a minute. What about nutrient their customers or satiate their customers? Nope. We provide things that delight the customers, making a positive impact on people and the planet is all part of the... We have a deep... Okay, we're close to farmers, enable quality. We can trace our stuff. They do not say anything about health. So let's see, the position. Let me give a quick scan to see if I can find what it would do for you. Usually you find something with the bliss point, right? This position will work closely with innovation managers to drive internal innovation strategy and deliver value by generating quality products and solutions, managing scale up and commercialization of products, conducting root cause analysis when appropriate. Yeah, food technologist. That I didn't know that. Specifically, the food technologist, okay, I guess it's food scientist. Yeah, that's weird. Will lead and perform required development for new spices and blends and related spices containing products. So it has nothing about nutrients. It's about taste and getting people to buy more of the products that other people are using. So that's what I'm talking about. They don't care. The people making things we all call food, which I wouldn't call most of it food, they don't care. Their job is to get you to buy more. Anyway, okay, let's move on. So eat enough. Make sure you know what you're eating. Track it. I have solutions for you guys in a minute. We have coaches in the gym. I'll tell you how you can hire them. I think another thing I would tell you is that, like, people say, where are my abs? I mean, they're under there, but they're under fat and they're under things that you shouldn't be eating. So you can build yourself in the kitchen, right? You're going to stimulate your muscles and with workouts, and then you're going to add to it with food, protein, and then you're going to sleep to let it build. And that's going to equal some of the biggest results that you have. So it's an easy calculation of push yourself a bit so your body says, ooh, I must adapt to a higher level of ouchiness. So that's going to grow muscle or speed or whatever, right? It's going to push your body to grow. You're going to give it the building blocks to grow, and then you're going to go to sleep and let it do its job, right? So if you decided not to sleep anymore, your body would turn off a lot of its things like recovery.
And emotions.
It would, if you don't sleep, it'll turn off your emotions. Consistency beats perfection. So this is why I tell you that it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you'll do it. So find the thing that you will do. If you want to be on the I just eat chili diet, I mean, if you're doing good ingredients, sure, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Consistency is king. Number one rule at the gym is show up. It is not go RX. Number two rule is don't do anything stupid so that you can show up tomorrow. It's basically about consistency. It's about showing up. People come in late. I'm like, that's fine. Rule number one is not show up on time. It is just show up. And we want you to. We even give options for, like, if you want to show up for more community outside of the gym, you can do that. Evan's running things for like D&D one-shots for new people. Come and see what it's all about. By the time you hear this podcast, that one will have passed. But there'll be other ones. Look at the whiteboard. See what's going on. We always are writing up events up there. Be consistent. Consistency will always beat perfection. I think the idea of trying to get streaks, like, oh, I made it 100 days without touching soda. I like that. Good job. But it's dumb. Who cares? Just try every day not to drink soda. And then if you did drink it and you're like, well, I blew it, my streak is over, I might as well just become a heroin addict. No, that's just one day. Get back on the wagon. It's not that big of a deal. Streaks are kind of dumb. They gamify everything. Like even Wodify. I love it. They're like, hey, we have streaks. If you show up, we're going to keep your streak going. I have people go on vacation and say, Andy, how do I log in to show that I did a workout while I was out of town so I can keep my streak going? I'm like, Yeah, this is how. I love it. They're streaking. That sounds weird. They're not streaking. Their clothes are on, but they're keeping their streak going because they want consistency. But it's okay. Go on vacation. Don't work out. That's fine. The gamification of it has nothing to do with the reality of you actually are on a pretty good streak, whether you missed a couple days or not. Now, on the flip side, I still think it's funny. My smoker buddy asked me about microplastics. I'm like, dude, stop smoking first. So this is the big stuff. Major in the majors. Consistency is a major. Eating protein is a major. Getting enough sleep is a major. It's the 5 pillars, right? How you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. Major in those. Last night, Randy asked me about the red light thing that we have downstairs. He's like, what does it do? I'm like, well, it does some things. He's like, well, is it better than exercise? I'm like, well, I would probably say exercising is the thing you should do first, but this probably has some value in other ways. Like I know people put a red light therapy hat on and their hair has grown back. I don't think any amount of exercising or food will make that happen. So the red light has some sort of benefit. But my point is, major in the major things, consistency is one of the biggest major things. Like, how did you do this over the years? If you're like, well, I didn't really do much. Well, then, it's kind of obvious what you're going to get. If you play stupid games, you will win stupid prizes. So don't play the stupid games. Okay. I kind of mentioned sleep in there. Sleep, you could think about is like another food group. It's another nutrient. If you have poor sleep, pretty much everything will suck. I think, like, of those 5 things, you need them all. But if you tried to negate sleep, you would die. Like they took some lacrosse players and they said, we're going to sleep deprive you for a week and let's see what happens. And by the end of the week, they were pre-diet or they were diabetic and they had something else. So not sleeping caused their bodies to be just shut down and go into chaos mode. So definitely get some sleep. Poor sleep is going to lead to things like extra hunger, more cravings, less discipline. I'm tired. I just need some coffee to pick me up or something. So try to get to sleep. How much? Man, they say 8 hours. Is it true for everybody? I don't know. If you fall asleep at a stop sign, you're not getting enough sleep. If you lay down on the little bed thingy for the chiropractor to adjust you and you fall asleep, you're probably not getting enough sleep. If you try to watch a TV show with your spouse or child at night and you're mildly interested in the show and you fall asleep, you're probably not getting enough sleep. That's an easy way to determine that, right? So if you could fall asleep at the drop of a hat, you probably need more sleep. I have a podcast on, I think it's 20-ish things you could do to fix your sleep. Go listen to that. There's some good ideas in there. I think another principle I would throw out at you is that exercise does not outperform a bad diet. So many times people are like, Andy, I've got abs, but why don't they come out? And I'm like, well, the nice way to say it is we should probably adjust your eating. The mean way to say it is your fat is hiding your muscles. That's just what it is. They're there. If I punched you, it wouldn't hurt bad because your stomachs you could tighten them up. You just have to change the way you eat. It is the craziest thing in this business. I've been doing this for about 20 years. The number of people that let me adjust the way they work out, a lot. The number of people that'll let me adjust the way they eat, very, very little. I barely ever get the request, hey, you offered free help. I'd like that free help. It's free, I'd help you. It's not great help, but most of it is helping you to help yourself. Track your food for 2 weeks, look at it, and then come talk to me about it. But we do have people that would help you, and I'm going to talk about them in a moment. So you can't outrun a bad diet. You can't outtrain the fork. You have got to put some attention on it. I have a buddy, Cam, who's been doing CrossFit now for about 3 years. And he said, I don't think it's going to work. And then he's like, wow, it works. In his 3rd year, he said, you know what? I do want to lose some weight. I've been maintaining and that's great, but I feel like I should lose weight. I'm like, well, I do realize that you upped your alcohol intake. So you kind of are defeating yourself. He's like, that's true. I said, why don't you just do something your gym's doing and try. And so he did, and he went from 200 down to 185. And he's like, I haven't seen 185 since college. And he's on the decrease. I think he's below 180 now. So you should think about the fork, right? You must use the fork, Luke. Exercise is for health, strength, confidence, and longevity. But fat loss happens mostly in the kitchen. Yes, it is possible to try to burn more calories than you eat, but I'm just going to say it's not really that equation. Like I said, I eat 4,000 calories a day. There's no way I'm burning 4,000 calories. I'm just saying when you change the ingredients, the arithmetic doesn't work anymore. Okay, last one ish that I'm gonna give you. I'm close to the last one is meal prep, creating food, creating what you're going to eat over time, like creating the timing of your food and putting it together. So don't overcomplicate it. When do you eat? Well, I like to eat before I work out and then go work out. Some people don't like to do that. You should figure yourself and how it fits into your life. When you do work out, you should eat some protein immediately or somewhat immediately after. I don't always do that. I'm pretty set in what I do. Many people get that protein push through a smoothie. Yeah, that works. I'm in favor of things that had a face, but whey protein, I guess, it comes from a cow or whatever, so it could work. You'd also want to hydrate yourself. Like right now in Georgia, we have a lot of humidity, but it's also really hot. You still want to hydrate with some electrolytes. So if you're competing at the CrossFit Games, yeah, this list would look a little bit different. You might dial it in a bit more. What I would say is experiment. I like to eat early in the morning, usually about 5 or 6 a.m., and then I go work out about 6 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. Sometimes it's tough on my stomach. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel those eggs, they're right there. Other times, like today on the run, I'm like, I feel good. I feel like I should have probably eaten more eggs or put more fat into my diet with a run type of workout. So you want to figure those things out. I'll get into meal prepping too eventually, but I do want to talk about supplements because I see my notes right here. Should you supplement? Supplements are what you do when your eating is dialed in. So supplements will move the needle maybe 5%. If you're eating like trash, supplements don't matter. Fix the trash first. I know it's weird. Like, well, Andy, I really like my greens drink. Great. If you'll do it, take it, whatever. But it doesn't move the needle like just eating better. So think of it like supplements are like the icing on the cake. It's a nice to have. And well, actually, icing on the cake is like the best part, I suppose, unless it's like a ice cream cake. But they don't do much for you. Now, there are things like creatine that is shown to have a lot of positive effects, but I would probably eat more protein first. Protein powders, we already kind of talked about that. Super convenient, but just eat more protein. You don't really need the powders. You could just eat more. Electrolytes, I do that one. I do put in electrolytes, but I have noticed that if I don't on this mostly carnivore keto diet, whatever it is no carbs or very low carbs, that my calves seize up. So I can tell that I need more electrolytes when I feel my calves getting tight.
I don't have that issue.
Really? So Evan is a carnivore as well, and he says it doesn't bother him.
It happens sometimes, but not nearly as often as it happens for you.
And it could be amount of muscle density, not mogging on him. Is that the way to say that? I mogged you?
That's not bad. I think it also.
I used it correct. Tell your teenagers. I 6'7" them.
No, I don't think that's how that works.
That totally works that way.
I think it's more you work out more than I do, but that could be part of it. But
it could be. I think there's also I have seen CrossFitters do adventure races. Like we have Matt Capron is about to do this 350-mile bike ride. And I've already told him the biggest thing for you is with all those muscles, electrolytes. So muscles request more because that's what they do. It's salt. I mean, they fought wars over salt. Animals have killed over salt. I mean, salt. It's a weird thing. Salt is good for life, but also I guess in the Bible, they would salt your fields and then you couldn't grow anything for 15 years because it was the salt killed everything. So I guess it's good and bad. I don't know. But electrolytes for me is super huge. Fish oil. This is a weird one. People talk a lot about it, but someone the other day said, every time I do fish oil, it tastes rancid. Here's the thing. Fish oil goes rancid quick, and you don't know how long that stuff's been on the shelf. I think what I would do instead of taking fish oil pellets or pills is get a fish oil jar, and then you could smell that and be like, oh, that's already bad. It should be in a brown bottle, and it should be kept chilled. If it's not, then it's not really fish oil, and it's not good for you. I would watch out. Now, I don't like fish oil because I burp it up. Some people said if you do krill oil or something, which are krill or like shrimp, they're just tiny and they just, I don't know, they milk them, they press them. I don't know what they do. You could do that. Now, I'm against eating things that eat poop. So I don't eat shrimp. I also don't eat cockroaches because they eat everything and I'm just not into that. So lobsters, they look like cockroaches. I just don't eat that stuff. I don't like the way I don't like the way seafood flakes. So I'm not a big protein eater there. And yes, I know it has a face. But it's what I'll do. If you said, Andy, you must get on the fish diet, I'd just say, whatever, I'm just going to eat a Snicker bars. I just can't. So I get it. Some of you are like, I can't eat that stuff. And that's fine. That's all right. I would say if you're going to buy supplements, instead spend that money on steak. So not all steak is created equal. I love New York strip. Most of the family likes ribeye. That's just what we'd grill. I also actually prefer steak cooked in the air fryer. I know it's the dumbest thing in the world. We've got this Pamper Chef tray. So it's a Pamper Chef is like clay derived pots and pans or whatever. Anyway, we put that in the toaster oven or the air fryer. I don't even know what the difference is. It fries it with air. What does that even mean? And I just lay 2 of them in this circle pot thingy. I slide it in there, put it on 350 for 6 minutes and let it go. And it's great. Works every time. If I cook it on the grill, I do like that too. I like the flame crispy taste, but it's just more work. And so I'm lazy and it's a thing I'll do. So the air fryer is it. I did actually change something recently. Well, it was a while ago, but I started like using it more and thinking, oh, this is a good one because they were talking about microplastics. I did change up. Instead of going to a coffee maker, I went back to a percolator, which is what they used to use. It brews coffee really, really good. There's no plastics involved. I think like this is good stuff. There are small things like I do drink coffee, so why wouldn't I change it? Do the smart thing, the easy thing, put the money where it'll make a better benefit. But I'm already doing a lot of the things that you should do. Now, I'll say I don't eat vegetables. The weird thing is there are, what do they call it? Essential proteins and essential fats. There is no such things as essential carbs. So that tells you something like, well, if your body can make those things, your body cannot make certain proteins and fats, but your body can make the other stuff that it needs. For example, I don't eat any sugar whatsoever. Yet my glucose test said I was pre-diabetic. And the lady's like, that is weird because you don't have any. I'm like, yeah, but your body makes it. And the test is just testing how long glucose is around. Like it's a 90-day test of glucose or, you know, how long it hangs out there in your blood cells. She was like, well, that's true. I said, so if your body didn't make glucose, your brain wouldn't work. If your body didn't make cholesterol, your brain wouldn't work. So your body can make some of these things that it needs, but it can't make some of the essential proteins and fats. So you need to ingest those. Woo! Hydration. This is an easy one. I've got this glass thermos. Again, I drink a lot on the run. So I usually drink out of a Berkey filter. They're great. It's an inert component. So it's a big like basin with some ceramic filters in it. And he just uses gravity to drip it in and you pour it out. I use that. Does it get out microplastics? I don't know. My house is full of PVC pipe, which is plasticky based. So I just don't think there's any way to get around that. But hydration is king. There are things like Kang water, which is a machine that does something to the water. You could ionize it. You could pH balance it. We've got this thing that Evan and Verity have been using called Zero Water. And then you have to add back in minerals. And so I'm like, well, that's interesting. So it's so like zero, like distilled water, that it has nothing in it. And if you drink it enough, you'll actually kill yourself. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to go no on that one. That maybe is like so clean. It's like taking a bath in those little Lysol disinfectant napkins. Like I don't know. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. That would burn. So that's a little over the top for me, but I am a water snob. I typically will not drink water when we're out. I would rather buy a bottle of water than drink like restaurant water. I'm a water snob. Water is important. Hydration is important, especially in Georgia, especially if you're CrossFitting, especially if it's in the summer down here. I know it's humid, but it's not the same thing. Easy things you could do to look for, am I hydrated enough, is what does your urine look and smell like? If it's like Coca-Cola color, then you're screwed. You're in trouble. I would go to the hospital. If it's some degree of yellow to like orangish, yeah, you probably should be drinking more water, right? The more orangey it is, the more water you should be drinking. I know some people say coffee doesn't count as water. I mean, coffee's like 99% water. So I think they're wrong. I think it's got a water count. Yeah, I get it. Coffee's a diuretic. It's supposed to pull water out of you, but I don't know. I think that's just made by the soda drinkers. And they're like, or the soda companies. They're like, don't drink coffee because it's bad for you. I'm like, really? You literally can take meat, drop it into a can of Coke, and it'll dissolve. You can use Coke to clean the junk off your windshield on your car. You can drop metals like coins into Coke, and it'll eat the stuff off of it, make it shiny. And you're telling me that's not bad for you. I don't know. I think it's dumb. So do the easy, smart stuff, right? Okay, so carnivore, would I do it? I mean, I'm doing it. Evan's doing it. He's actively trying to work himself off of it. So fair.
I have successfully worked myself slightly off.
Slightly off it. He does do some bread. I am all in, and I'll probably stay all in. One of the other kids, maybe Evie said, how long are you going to do that? And I'm like, or maybe Verity said it. How long are you going to do this? I was like, I don't know, probably forever. I like it. And so far, all of my blood work and stuff comes out great. And I'm able to do everything I want to do. Plus, I've lost belly fat. So I'm like, hey, I don't know. This is pretty good. I eat a lot of salt and my salt numbers are down. It's the weirdest thing, man. Would I ask you to do it? Absolutely not. It is the most restrictive thing I have ever done besides having like a newborn. That's pretty damn restrictive. But you know what I'm saying is you just like have to change the way you eat. And what I really don't like is when people say, oh, Andy, you eat different. Let me accommodate you. I'm like, no, I'm a grown ass adult. I pre-eat before I go places because I know most places aren't going to have what I want, and that's okay. I'm an adult. I do that. I carry the burden of, with great power comes great responsibility. With eating meat comes pre-eating. I pre-game, so I don't get alcohol. I get extra proteins and fats. So I don't think I would ask you or tell you to do it. I know it works for me. I know Craig's doing it. There's like 3 other people in the gym doing it. Weirdly, it's usually men that do this, but there's a lot of trendy people on YouTube and Instagram that do this. And I mean, they've got good stuff going on. Ladies, that is. So it does work for them too. Is it for everyone? I mean, it could be, but most people I don't think would want to be as dumb as me and do this. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for you. Most people just aren't going to do it. So why put something on you so tough? Do the thing that you'll do, right? It's super easy. Okay. So simple nutrition rules. Eat real food. Eat a lot of protein. Drink mostly water. Sleep 7, 8, 9 hours. Don't sleep at, red lights, right? Lift heavy things. You know me, lift it, right? Walk every day. I am a fan of walking after eating and a fan like Evan and I will walk down the driveway. He's like, get some sun, take the shirt off, get the mail. Our driveway is actually extremely long. It's probably 100 meters. I mean, it's quite a bit, maybe 200. So it's a good walk. But grounding, we do it barefoot. We walk outside, walk. Now, do I think counting your steps like that, walking is great exercise? No, that's just like novelty. It's movement. It's not exercise. Exercising is a different level. It's the next level up. Training is a level up from that. Sport is a level up from that. So walking, yes, but train. That's the best one. It's the most exciting and interesting. It'll keep it going. Don't snack out of boredom. I tell my kids all the time, you guys will snack or eat with your phone. You're tying it together. When I scroll, I eat. When I eat, I scroll. So now they're like 2 activities that go together. Don't do that.
You're trying to gain weight. That's what I purposely did.
True.
That was kind of helpful.
Not many people are on the side of let's gain weight, which is weird. Evan eats super clean, hard to gain weight. I eat super clean, lost a bunch of weight. So there is something too. If you eat crappy food, you're going to put crappy weight on. Don't snack out of boredom. Cook your meals at home. If you want a chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit, just buy the stuff and make it, right? I would say it's something that I don't do well. Eat slowly. I eat fast and I eat standing up, which I hear is bad for you as well. But I've got this homework from Dr. Cam. So my left foot feels weird when I jog long distances. So I've got this blue phone pad thing and I stand on it and it's wobbly to stand on. So I stand on one foot while eating. I am the king of multitasking. Like if I'm going to vacuum the house, I'm going to listen to a podcast. If I'm going to mow, I'm going to listen to a podcast. If I'm going to do the dishes, I'm listening to a podcast. Everything I do, I try to it's a curse, but it's also kind of nice. I try to maximize the effort. I try to minimize the effort and maximize my output. So I will, if I know I'm going to the basement, I will put things by the basement stairs. So when I go down, I'll take it all down rather than going up and down. I know it's dumb. I also have a philosophy of just touch it once, but sometimes they don't go together. Okay. So eat slowly. Last one is be consistent for years. Common mistakes I see here at the gym is skipping breakfast and then binge eating. Don't do that. Some people are like, I don't eat before I work out. I mean, hey, I guess if that works, but that's not really all that awesome for your body. Way too little protein or thinking yogurt has protein. peanut butter has protein and that counts. Man, not really. I know what you're thinking, but it's not really, it doesn't count that much. You're making too much out of it. I eat all my protein in yogurt. Well, you're not really eating any protein at all. You reward yourself with junk food and you call it a cheat meal. Let me just correct that. If you cheat, you're getting a benefit out of that. If you take a cheat sheet into a test, you're doing it to get a better score. When you cheat on your meal, it is not cheating in that regards. It's sabotaging. You should call it a sabotage meal. That's what it is. I'm sabotaging my progress on purpose. That's what it is. When you cheat on anything, the idea is I'm getting a reward out of that. And I know you're cheating on a spouse. Well, I mean, you think you're getting more sex, but then you'll get less. I don't know. That's not a great analogy for it, but it's sabotaging. If you sabotage your marriage with cheating, yes. But people don't look at sabotaging a test with a cheat sheet. No, they're cheating to get something better, right? They're going to circumvent the rules to up their score, their ante, the progress or whatever. When you have a cheat meal, it's a sabotage meal. You reverse all the progress. It's the dumbest. I mean, if that's one thing I could just correct the world in, call it what it is. It's a sabotage meal. People drink their calories. They're like, yeah, no, I don't do that. And then they go right out and they've got like, I don't know. Nobody really drinks Coke in the gym, but they'll pull like a Celsius. I'm like, man, that's loaded with super bad stuff. At least drink some of the ones up front. I mean, they got creatine in them. There's somewhat less ingredients, but when I think somebody bought Fit Aid. No, it wasn't Fit Aid. Who bought? They bought the other drinks, Kill Cliff, and changed all the ingredients to super bad stuff. So that's why we don't do that one anymore. Anyway, so you try to eat healthy Monday through Thursday, then you cheat all Friday and through the weekends. That's just really dumb. People obsess over supplements rather than investing in the grocery store. Just buy better food, right? You're never going to find the perfect diet. They keep looking for it. Try a bunch of things, see which one sticks with you. Probably the best thing is creating habits. And I didn't even really go into that. So you should find habits that make sense to you. Good Lord, 47 minutes? Man, I can talk. That is so weird. I feel like, okay. Let me pause you and think about my last things and get this bad boy done. Okay, I'm going to skip right over it. Don't chase skinny, chase healthy. If you go to Instagram or Facebook, you're going to find some of our coaches there. I have got some of this pulled up here. If you're watching as a video, finally Andy's clicking buttons and things are going to happen. So we have got Inked Barbell. So it's Barbell. That is Coach Jennifer's thing. And she has got a lot of cool content on there. It's nutrition driven. And there's also personal training. You can find her there, message her, click on the message button. Boom, you can find her. She's also got an Instagram page for herself. You've got Coach Josiah Igidi. I can't say that right. Igidi? Yeah, I said that right. He has two. If you go to his Instagram page, it's Josiah_Igidi, IGIDI. And he's got two links in there. You can actually get to his other offerings, which I like. Go click on there, get to a website. His first one is his image consulting. Evan has used them, and people have said to him, damn, you look good. Why do you dress so different than everybody else here at the office? So it works, especially if you are like a ones and zero type of dude and you have no idea how to put stuff together. I literally just wear the next shirt in the drawer and the next shorts in the drawer. Sometimes I come in there with like black and blue clothing, and it's like, that doesn't go, Andy, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm that guy. He will help you with that stuff. But more importantly, or at least on track, it's the nutrition stuff that he does. So he's got programs and services. So he's got his personal training thing on here. He's got custom meal planning. He's got at-home gym planning. He's got, let me see in here. Yeah, so home, gym, and custom programming, as well as custom meal planning, nutrition coaching. Yeah, all of that stuff. So he can do it at the gym. He can do it at your place. I mean, this guy goes everywhere. He is incredible and awesome. Then you've got Coach Matt Bentowski. So if you go find him on Instagram, it is Musclefied. So MUSCLEFIED, Musclefied, like Wadified, right? And in there, you can do the message me, and he's got cool content on there. A lot of his stuff is, bro is lifting big weights. I love it when he does squats. His quads are just like, bam, jacked out there. This guy will help you with many things. Similar, he's got PT, so personal training. He has got nutrition coaching. I would love to tell people, if you have kids that are looking to play basketball or volleyball, this is your man. He's a 6'8" giant, and he's got muscles to donate. I mean, the dude is just rock solid huge. People that are tall have different problems, and he can help address those things, not just with the strength but and athleticism, but also in the nutrition. So go find him there. Then you got Coach Jamie, who will also do personal training, but her shtick is she is a, oh man, how do you say it? A therapist? I always get the wording messed up. And she's got a link there. So if you go to Fox Oak Counseling, all one word, on Instagram, or samething.com, that is her website. If you go there, you'll see a picture of her and you're like, oh, I know her. That's Coach Jamie. Yep. And she does remote therapy. So get on the phone with me, get on a Zoom call with me. She also has a thing called Rewire, where she'll help do movement and therapy at the same time. Because movement is medicine, right? Let's see what else I got for you. Then, of course, we've got Dr. Cam Gregory. So if you're on Instagram, Dr. Cam Gregory. So DrCamGregory. Dr. Cam Gregory. He also goes by Backman because it's like Batman. So it's a fun little play on words. He is not your average crack dealer. So he's up front in the gym. Everybody in my family has been to him. Those that are still in town continue to go to him. He has helped my foot tremendously. Probably my favorite thing about Dr. Cam is that he's not a guy who says, hey, come and see me every week for the next rest of your life. I went in there once. He said, here's your homework. Let's talk in a month. And I love it. And this guy right here loves me some assignments. Give me some homework. So go find him. You can just click the message me, or if you're at the gym, you can see his phone number and stuff and scheduling app are there. I think he is one of the few guys that actually had, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Cairo Cafe. If you go on Facebook, you can also find him that way. I don't think he actually has many of the guys don't have websites anymore, which I guess why do you need it? Just social media and use their stuff. But I tend to still, I guess I'm old school. I want to see the website. Why? I don't know. Why do I want to see the website? I feel like it's like needed, but really it's not. Social media gives you a place to land, and I can send emails and message and then start like working for them or with them. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. Why do I want there to be a website? All right, guys. Hey, you have coaches that work with you now that understand what you're doing that can help you along with the process. If you're like, I just need accountability, or I've never really tried good accountability. These guys give great accountability. They will also give you things that you haven't considered trying, which is probably the best part. It's a real human taking your real inputs and saying, let's experiment, right? Let's try stuff. There are some tried and true things. Let's work on macros. Apparently, when you eat in this 40%, 30% ratio of proteins, fats, and carbs, your body digests it better. This is why I'm talking about eating protein first. So there's things you can do. You can do them. If you feel stuck, oh, Andy, it doesn't work, man, I am here to tell you. First thing is stop drinking sugar. When I stopped drinking sugar, I dropped 10 pounds. It was sweet tea. That's what my big thing was. Then I stopped eating like birthday cakes and stuff and dropped another 10 pounds. And because I gained the 10 pounds because I ate more sweets. So basically, my biggest weight ever is 185. I am down to 165 and I stay around just under 165 eating this carnivore lifestyle. Should you do that? No. But you will drop weight when you eliminate the stupid stuff. How do you do it? That's what these guys are for. They will walk you through the process and give you love and cuddles. I won't do that. I'm like a porcupine. I'm very prickly. You should only work with me if you're ready to be stabbed a few times. I have a very low emotional capacity and I'm working on growing that. So yeah, if you need the drill sergeant, I'm your guy. If you want anybody else that'll give you compassionate work, that's what the other guys do. They are super awesome. I hire them. So you should hire them too. All right, guys. Hey, this is Andy McCann here in Woodstock, Georgia. If you're near us in Woodstock, Georgia, come see us. We're friendly people mostly. And we want to build community with you. We want, like Megan said, Andy, I'm in, sign me up. This is the most fun I've ever had working out. Seriously, it's fun, fitness, and for coaching. This is what we're about, the 3 Fs. I love the tagline we put up years ago. We are happy, humble, helpful people looking to be healthy and fit now, as well as in our 90s. That's us. If that sounds like you, and maybe you like to rock climb or roll some dice playing D&D or board games, or get out doing adventure races, mountain biking and stuff, we've got people for you just waiting. The biggest problem is you kind of have to live near me. Unless you want like that coaching I talked about. These guys do it all remote as well. You can be in person here at the gym or your gym or a gym, or you can do it online. All right, guys, y'all take care.